today I'll be showing you how to make an F15 for Perler Beads. So here are all the pieces, and you'll also need a pair of pliers and a few pieces of toothpicks. I already cut these to size. I'll be showing you how to make these pieces at the end. So here are the wings and part of the engine of our F15. These are the parts that we need for the cabin. Here are the landing gear. These are the stabilizers. Here's the bottom cover for our engine and just the bottom of our F15. Here are the elevators. Here is the piece that'll go in between, right here. These are engine covers, basically intakes. And all of these are other technical things. And this is the outside of our intakes for the F15. For the first step of our jet, we're going to be needing the wings, the bottom cover, the engine cover, and the landing gear. We're going to be starting with putting the landing gear into the wing by flipping it over. You don't have to flip it over because it's the same on either side, but you take the landing gear and put it into the holes provided. Make sure it clicks and make sure it's pretty stable in there. Next, you repeat the process on the other side, like so. Now, we're going to be taking the bottom cover, which has a bit of the engine on the back, and we take the engine cover and click it on like this on both sides. So now we take it and we put it in like this, making sure it clicks on, and now we have our back portion of our jet. So for step 2 of our fighter jet, we're going to be making the intakes. As you probably already figured out, we have to put it in so that these two holes, beads that are sticking out, line up with the two holes. So we basically have to lift up this cover, the bottom cover, and slide it in, and then click it back down. You see, one of the intakes is finished. Next, we have to repeat the same process on the other side, which we take it, click it in, and now our intakes are finished. Time to move on to step 3. For step 4 of our fighter jet, we're going to be completing the engine. This might be a hard step, but we have to take these two pieces, and we have to make sure that the gray part is facing down. Also, we have to make sure that the body is also facing down. So then, we have to carefully slide it in, and then we have to kind of lift up this cover, and then you have to make sure that it goes into the hole and clicks. This step is hard, but you will manage. Like here, and then I pop it in, and like this. As you can see, I completed the wall of the engine. So here now we do it on the exact same side, or not the exact same, the opposite side, and we partially lift it up and click it in. And now our engine is finished. For step 5, we'll be making the cockpit of our fighter jet, and I'll be showing you how to attach it. So for the cockpit, we're going to be needing this piece, the side pieces, and the connector. First of all, we want to attach the connector to both side pieces, like so. Making sure it clicks, that it ensures a good fit. Next, we take the centerpiece and we slide it in like so. after this, we just put this aside, and then we take this piece, which is like this long white rectangle with a seven bead rod sticking out. So we slide it in, making sure it goes as far as it possibly went, and then we want to make sure that we have a 1 bead gap in between the top layer and the spacer. Next, we want to take our cockpit and we want to make this gray piece be at the top. So we slide it in, making sure that the spacer doesn't protrude out too much, so that we can have our cockpit stay in nicely, like here. In the final step of our aircraft, we're going to be building the stabilizers and the elevators, as well as the spacer for the engine. We're going to be starting off with the spacer, making sure that this two-piece is at the bottom, not like this. We want it to be like this. Then we take the aircraft and push it in, making sure that the forward doesn't move, because if I flip it over and put the other side, it pushes it out. So we have to make sure that this piece is facing the bottom, and we slide it in. Now, so that we'll be able to attach these, we're going to be making the elevators. So we're going to take this piece and put it into the 3-hole, except we have to make sure that this rod goes right into this small gap. My thing fell out. We want to make sure that this little rod goes into this little gap, and we want to do that by carefully squishing it in, and like this. And now we got to repeat the process on the other side. Like this. Now we have to take the stabilizers and we slide them in like this. So now our aircraft is complete, although it is pretty shaky. Everything is falling apart. So that's why we'll need the next step, in which we're going to be attaching these sticks. For the actual final step, which is optional, I do recommend it though, because our plane does kind of fall apart because it is weak. So we're going to be needing toothpicks and the finished plane, as well as some pliers. You don't need them, but they do help. So we're going to be taking our jet, and we're going to want to flip it over. Make sure to hold everything together with your fingers, because the jet can fall apart. So now we take the toothpick, make sure it's sharp, and push it through the whole body of our jet. Making sure that it goes in a straight line, not any turns and twists. So now that our skewer is through, we're going to be wanting to pull it through as much as possible. This can help if you're using tweezers or these pliers. And now we're going to be wanting to cut it off right about here. So I'm just going to go ahead and squish my pliers underneath. This could be hard. That's why I do recommend using small pliers like I am. And then you do the exact same on the other side. Like so. So now that one part of our toothpicks are finished, we have to make sure that everything else stays in place as well. So now we put it through a second hole, push push it all the way through, almost all the way through, and then cut it off. Like this. So finally, we have to put it through one last hole. Right here. And push it all the way through. Actually, I'm going to use another skewer because this one's a bit thick. So I take it and push it through, making sure that it kind of sticks, because if it doesn't, it's not going to be able to do anything. This one also doesn't work, but you get what I mean. So for now, basically our fighter jet is finished, and basically repeat the steps on all the other holes, like somewhere around on the cockpit and somewhere in the center. So after a lot of stress and pain, I finally managed to put in all the toothpicks. As you can see now, it's sturdy. So here's how it should look like. And now our F-15 can fly away. But anyways, thank you for watching, and also if you liked the video, click the thumbs up button and don't forget to ring the bell, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.